Genoa City is on fire. Jack makes a shocking proposal to his biggest rival Victor, Kane cuts ties with Michael, and Billy turns up the pressure on Sally. But just as sparks fly, Sally's own stunning confession rocks the Abbotts and Tessa makes a life-changing move that could change everything for her marriage. With alliances breaking, secrets spilling, and relationships on the line, next week's Young and the Restless is one you can't miss. Welcome to Celebrity Gossip 24 Hours, where the drama unfolds and the stories captivate. Join us as we delve into the intriguing world of Young and the Restless, revealing the untold tales and hidden truths behind the headlines. Why in our recap, Jack's bold proposal to Victor, Kane walks away from Michael, and Billy presses Sally. Friday, September 26, 2025. Genoa City is caught up in risky alliances, tough decisions, and heartfelt negotiations. Victor's ultimatum leaves Nikki concerned. At the Newman Ranch, Nikki joined Victor late in the evening, only to learn that he had issued Kane a difficult ultimatum: cooperate with his terms or face serious consequences. Nikki immediately worried about the toll this ongoing standoff was taking on her husband's health. Victor, however, brushed off her concerns, noting that Kane was far more unpredictable than he had anticipated. For Victor, this wasn't a fleeting dispute. It was a test of endurance, and he fully expected it to stretch out for the long haul. Kane and Michael. A partnership ends. Elsewhere, Kane's frustration with Michael reached a boiling point. His attorney pressed for more details about Victor's demands and Kane's long-term plans, but Kane wasn't interested in sharing everything. He began to question whether Michael was truly on his side or quietly protecting Victor. Michael insisted he needed clarity to help effectively, but Kane deflected with probing questions of his own, asking if Michael viewed him as a hero or a villain. The two also discussed Billy and Phyllis, but the conversation circled back to trust and loyalty. Michael finally made it clear that if Kane threatened people he cared about, he wouldn't hesitate to push back. Kane smirked at the warning, then calmly announced that their professional relationship was over. He explained that he respected Michael as both a lawyer and a man, but he no longer believed their partnership was a good fit. Michael accepted Kane's decision but cautioned that he wouldn't stand by idly if Kane crossed certain lines. Kane replied that he would expect nothing less. Billy turns up the charm with Sally. Over at the jazz lounge, Billy poured on the charm, raising a toast to Sally and assuring her she was his top priority. Sally, still cautious after past disappointments, warned him not to let her down again. Billy insisted his old battles were behind him. He claimed he no longer needed to take down Kane or Victor because, in his mind, he had already secured a victory. His new dream? Persuade Jack to reinvest in Abbott Communications so Sally could lead the company, with him proudly supporting her as second-in-command. Sally admitted she still felt unsettled by his intensity. Billy quickly countered, saying his only true focus was her. He even pressed the idea of moving in together, though Sally preferred to take things slowly. Later, when they went up to her suite, Billy continued nudging her toward a bigger commitment, while Sally maintained her careful stance. Jack's risky pitch. At the Abbott mansion, Jack and Diane reflected on Kyle's emergency Jabot meeting, but their discussion quickly turned to Jack's controversial idea: partnering with Victor. Diane worried that such a truce could easily backfire, reminding Jack that Victor had never been someone he could fully trust. Jack acknowledged the risks but argued that Kane's growing influence made desperate measures necessary. He reasoned that while he and Victor were lifelong rivals, they also shared a common concern: Kane. For Jack, forming a temporary alliance with Victor might be the smartest way to neutralize the threat before it spiraled out of control. Despite Diane's skepticism, Jack pressed forward and headed to the Newman Ranch, determined to appeal to Victor's ego and sense of strategy. Jack and Victor face off. When Jack arrived, Victor greeted him coolly, skeptical of his intentions. Jack got straight to the point. It was time to put aside their rivalry, at least for now. He explained that Kane represented a larger danger than either of them could afford to ignore. Though Victor scoffed at the idea that Kane posed a true risk, Jack cautioned him against underestimating their mutual adversary. The conversation quickly turned into verbal sparring, with each man reminding the other of their long, complicated history. Still, Jack pressed on, insisting they had no choice but to treat Kane as a serious opponent. Eventually, Victor agreed to hear him out, though not without hesitation. Jack suggested that Kane's motives were tied to Jill and hinted that involving her might be key to dismantling Kane's plans. For once, Victor didn't dismiss the idea outright, a sign that an unlikely truce could be forming. Closing moments. The episode wrapped up with dramatic shifts in loyalty and unresolved questions. Kane ended his professional relationship with Michael, leaving him without legal counsel but seemingly more confident than ever in his own strategy. Billy kept pushing Sally for a deeper commitment, though she wisely insisted on taking things at her own pace. Jack and Victor edged toward an uneasy alliance, with Jill possibly playing a pivotal role in what comes next. In Genoa City, nothing stays steady for long. Friendships falter, romances face pressure, and rivalries shift in unexpected ways. One thing's for certain, the battles ahead will be as much about trust as they are about power. Today's next update. Young and the Restless next week. Sally's confession stuns and Tessa's bold move shakes Genoa City. Spoilers for the week of September 29th bring big surprises, risky decisions, and relationship shakeups in Genoa City. Sally Spectra's shocking confession and Billy's plea. As the week begins, Billy Abbott pleads with Sally Spectra to give their romance another chance. He promises her she is his top priority, vowing to end the games, refocus on their new venture, and put her first. Sally, though cautious, decides to believe in him, but warns he'd better never put her second again. Things seem to be back on track after a celebratory toast at the Jazz Lounge, but not for long. Sally makes a confession to Jill Abbott, telling her she's in love with Billy, but also that there's a serious problem ahead. Could this be about Kane Ashby's risky business moves, or has Billy already stumbled again? Michael Baldwin draws the line with Kane. Elsewhere, Kane Ashby parts ways with Michael Baldwin after refusing Victor Newman's latest deal. Michael presses for answers, concerned about Kane's ambitions and how they might impact Genoa City. Michael admits he can't support Kane's methods and won't let him jeopardize the people he cares about. Though Kane respects Michael personally, he ends their partnership, leaving both men at odds. Meanwhile, Lauren Fenmore vents to Nikki Newman, struggling with her husband's involvement in high-stakes power games. Even after Michael confesses he's secretly working to prevent a corporate war, Lauren wonders if their marriage can survive the strain. Sharon Newman returns and Tessa faces a crossroads. Next week also marks Sharon Newman's return, as she prepares to head to Los Angeles with Nick to visit their son Noah. Before leaving, Sharon has a heart-to-heart with Tessa Porter, who's determined to save her marriage with Mariah. Tessa makes a life-changing choice. She's ready to confront the truth about what's driving Mariah away. With Daniel Romalotti offering support, Tessa is prepared to seek answers, even if it means facing difficult revelations. For more of the latest updates and behind-the-scenes secrets from Young and the Restless, make sure to hit subscribe and ring that bell. Stay in the know with every new release.